With the next Super Smash Bros. Coming out in about a year, everybody's asking the question, what character will I be able to play as in the next Super Smash Bros.? So, I'm going to say the top 10 characters that I want to play as the next Super Smash Bros. Now remember, this is just my opinion. And I'm going to have a few rules of this list as well. For example, one of them being if it's a third-party character, Nintendo actually has to have some past with that third-party character, and also be able to obtain the rights, so no SpongeBob or Goku or anything ridiculous like that. Anyway, I'm going to start off with number 10. Drum roll, please. And the character taking my number 10 slot is Rayman. Now, to be honest, I never really played the Rayman games, and I don't really know all that much that Rayman can do. But the reason why he's on my list is because Ubisoft has been rather nice with Nintendo. I mean, they gave them ZombiU, which is an exclusive on the Wii U, and they also gave them Rayman Legends and Rayman Origins. Called it Rayman Origins again! Rayman Origins on the Wii U. Okay? Oranges. No, Origins, not oranges. Okay. Sorry. So again, I've heard Rayman can spin his hair around like a helicopter. I'm supposing that he can use this to fly, or at least float, so that could be a good recovery move. And he can also spin his fists around, I'm pretty sure. So that could be a good over B. Other than that, I don't really have much to say about Rayman, because again, I haven't really played the game, so I'm not quite sure what abilities or moves that he has. But I'm sure Nintendo, if they ask, could get the rights to him, and I'm sure Nintendo could figure out a good moveset as well. Yeah, next, number 9. Ghirahim. I've picked Ghirahim as a playable character, mostly just because, well, not only do I like Ghirahim as a character, but Ghirahim is a Zelda villain, so Nintendo should have no problem getting the rights since it's their own character. And also, yeah, Ghirahim's moveset could be based around him summoning knives to shoot at enemies, and using his sword for melee combat. He could also, his down B might be a counter similar to Lucario or the Fire Emblem characters from previous Smash games where he grabs the opponent's weapon with his fingers and maybe kicks them or something. And maybe he could also summon a sword for his normal attacks. However, I would rather him just always holding out one sword and then being able to attack with that sword, and then being able to shoot knives as well. Other than that, there really isn't much I can say about this character. Number 8. Now, I know what you're thinking. This next character is rather controversial whether people want him in or not. Ridley. Now, a lot of you are saying, no, Ridley's too big, you idiot. Well, yes, but many characters have been resized, including Bowser, and Olimar was sized up. Heck, Olimar's not even as big as a GameCube disc. So how would he be able to fight when the size... And the Pikmin are even smaller than that, for that matter. Anyway, Ridley could be resized. I imagine him to control, similar to Bowser. Bowser in Brawl was hunched over. So I'm imagining that Ridley would be hunched over like that as well. I imagine it to be more of a floaty recovery form of Bowser. Bowser is more based towards power, but Ridley would be a bit more based towards flight. It would be lighter, easier to launch, but quicker as well. I'm also imagining him to sort of have a fireball breathing move like he did in Brawl as a boss, and he might be able to use his claws and a tail, part of his moveset. Number 7. Takamaru. Now you may ask, who the heck is Takamaru? Well, Sakurai did say that he said that he wanted more retro characters to be in the next Super Smash, which is a great idea. And Takamaru is from the NES days. So, he's a retro character, so he falls into that. But why Takamaru over everyone else? Well, Takamaru's already been revived, sort of. In Nintendo Land, Takamaru's Ninja Castle was, well, a minigame. So, if they really want to revive Takamaru, then they kind of have tried in Nintendo Land. I'm sure if they really are persistent in doing it, they'll add him in the Brawl, just like they did with Pit. That way they'll be able to make a new game and make some moolah. Anyway, I imagine Takamaru's moveset to be, well, obviously, involved in Ninja Stars or Shuriken, because that's what Takamaru's Ninja Castle is based off of. I never really played the original Takamaru games either. I know also he has a ninja sword, katana, ninjato, whatever you want to call it. and he could use those for melee normal attacks as well. There's also those scrolls from Takamaro's Ninja Castle. I'm not sure if Takamaro can actually use those, but regardless of whether he can or if he can't, it'd be good to use those as a final smash or just include them as part of his moveset. Number 6, Bowser Jr. Yes, Bowser Jr. needs to be in there. Bowser Jr. has become the staple character in most of the recent Mario games. Sure, there's Bowser, and sure, we already have 4 Mario characters. But come on, who can hate Bowser Jr.? Also, although Bowser Jr. might have some spinning shell moves like Bowser did, Bowser Jr. could be a completely different character. He could use his paintbrush to attack or to paint traps on the ground that enemies could slip over and take damage from. He could also transform into Shadow Mario. I don't know, his placing paint traps seems to be like a down B type move, but also transforming is usually down B as well. So I guess I'd either have to choose between a paint trap or transforming into Shadow Mario. To be honest, I'm not quite sure what Shadow Mario would do, so I might actually go with the paint trap. His final smash would obviously be the Mecha Bowser from Super Mario Sunshine. I don't know if it would work sort of like Snake's grenade launcher, where you can fire missiles or bullet bills at the screen from the different view, but however it works, I'm sure Mecha Bowser would be an awesome final smash to use. Number 5. Now this one kind of seems like an odd choice. The character I've chosen for my number 5 slot is Cat and Anna from WarioWare. WarioWare Inc. has become almost its own franchise of its own, spawning I think 4 games, but I'm not quite sure. Cat and Anna are 2 ninjas. They're twin sisters. They've appeared in every WarioWare Inc. game to date, and they've been a fan favorite, including mine. I specifically like Cat more, but for the sake of this list, Cat and Anna are going to be together. Now you may say, wait, you're wanting 2 completely different characters to be clones of each other. Well, actually, I was hoping that Cat and Anna would control similar to how Ice Climbers did in Brawl and Melee. Now you control both of them at the same time. Maybe Cat and Anna would be more quicker form of Ice Climbers. Ice Climbers would use hammers, but Cat and Anna would use katana. And I'm not asking for them to be clones either. I'm just saying that they would control similar, having 2 characters and all. They could use shuriken and ninjutsu, as they've seen before, to use sort of like a Sheik-like recovery move in my imagination. And also have slashes with their katana as normal attacks. Number 4. Alright. This one has been a lot of other people's lists as well. For my number 4 slot, I've chosen Chrom from Fire Emblem Awakening. Now, why have I chosen him? Well, if the next Super Smash Bros. Keeps up the pattern that the past ones had, then Marth will probably make it in, and then the newest Fire Emblem character will, which means Ike is going to be dropped. This happened in Melee. For example, in Melee, both Marth and Roy were playable characters. Roy was the newest Fire Emblem protagonist at the time, so they probably put him in just to increase the popularity of Fire Emblem. They also put in Ike, which was the newest protagonist at the time of Brawl. Back in Brawl, what came out, anyway, Marth was also there too. So, in the next Super Smash Bros., we're probably going to put in Chrom to promote Fire Emblem once again, and they're probably going to keep in Marth to support the olden days of Fire Emblem. I imagine Chrom would probably have a similar moveset to Marth, sort of in a quick swordsman type way, because Ike and Marth were different. Ike was more based towards power, while Marth was more based towards speed and skill. Both Chrom and Marth appear to be more based towards speed. However, they still do use different moves, so I can imagine they'd still have different movesets that they could use. For my next choice of character, for my number 3 slot, I've picked Magnus from Kid Icarus. Now, I was highly thinking about adding Palutena to this list, and I like Palutena as a character. However, I just didn't think that she had what it takes to be as a character in the next Super Smash, so I went with Magnus instead. As you may know, or hopefully, because Kid Icarus is an awesome game, if you don't have it, then you should buy it. Magnus is a character from Kid Icarus. He's a human, which is quite odd because he's strong for his race. Not to be racist against us, I guess. Magnus wields a giant sword, so I would imagine that he would fight similar to Ike did. He might have a charged up slash, kind of like Marth did in Melee, and he would, for the most part, just be a tank, really. Have poor recovery, I'm thinking, but have really good knockback on all of his attacks. That's just the way Magnus is. Also, Magnus's dash attack in Kid Icarus Uprising was a kick, so I imagine that it would be the same thing in the next Super Smash. Anyway, number 2. Now, this is a character that I've seen nobody else put on their list so far. The character that I've chosen for my number 2 slot is Maxwell. Maxwell is from a Nintendo exclusive series called Scribblenauts, which originally started on the DS and then moved to the Wii U after that. Scribblenauts is basically a game where, because of Maxwell's handy-dandy, trusty-wusty, that was kind of weird, magic notebook, he can summon any object that he wants just by writing that name of the object inside. So, obviously Maxwell's moveset would be around summoning random objects for him to use. For example, his B could be similar to how Mr. Game Watches threw sausages or whatever that was from his frying pan. Basically, he's summoning random objects, maybe. Sometimes it'd be shears, maybe sometimes it'd be a flashlight, maybe sometimes it'd be a torch, or maybe sometimes it'd even be a sword that would deal different amounts of damage and different special effects. I'm imagining his recovery move to be either wings, or well, either him summoning wings, summoning a jetpack, or summoning a helicopter pack, or maybe kind of like how Peach's over Smash is sometimes a golf club, sometimes a tennis racket, and sometimes a frying pan. It might be different each time, but work the same way. His down B can be maybe he places a landmine, kind of like how Snake did. And his final smash, well, he could either summon a crap load of things, such as a T-Rex, summon himself a giant sword, and summon a bunch of monsters. 'Cause, you know, that's always awesome. Or he could summon in a giant mech armor. Whatever he wants to do, I don't know. Anyway, now it's a recap. For my number 10 slot, Rayman. For my number 9, Ghirahim. Number 8, Ridley. Number 7, Takamaru. Number 6, Bowser Jr. Number 5, Cat and Anna. Number 4, Chrom. Number 3, Magnus. Number 2, Maxwell. And my all-time favorite character, video game character, and just normal character in general, Zero from Mega Man. Now, Zero is a Capcom character, which means that he's third party, but he is only the second third party character on this list. And Mega Man's been a confirmed newcomer, so it's totally possible that somebody else from the same franchise could make it into the game. And, come on, I do know that the Mega Man in the next Super Smash Bros. Is based off of the NES version of Mega Man, and Zero is from Mega Man X. But Zero would make an excellent character, and there's many reasons why I think this is so. One of the main reasons would be because his moveset is practically already made for him. I mean, his up B could be Ryujin from Mega Man X5, which is already an upwards slashing, flaming, jumping attack. His down A move in the air could be similar to, you know, Sheik's, Zero Suit Samus's, and Toon Link's falling down, like kick/stab move, where he summons a blade of ice and then falls down on enemies. His air attacks could also involve him spinning around with his blade. His smash attack could be the Zero Buster, just as Mega Man's smash attack is his Mega Buster, or it could just be a charged up slash similar to Meta Knight's. I don't know. I imagine Zero to be sort of a all-around character, kind of like Link, but his special moves would be a bit more interesting. Just, you know, like a normal weight and feel to him. So yeah, that's my list. Again, this list is my opinion, so if your favorite character wasn't put onto my list, put it in the comments, or even make a video response if you want. And if you didn't like one of the characters in my list, then, well, it's my opinion, so, yeah. So this is a good time to talk about my channel, because people are probably like, oh, it's all over now, so I'll just leave. But, you know, if you want to listen, go ahead. If you haven't checked out Dragstart MVP's channel yet, you should do that. He does Minecraft videos. I might actually do Minecraft videos with him later. He's a good friend of mine. I'm obviously going to start doing more videos, maybe on Super Smash Bros., maybe not, other games too. I'm also probably going to do some gameplay, you know, videos on Minecraft, doing hardcore games with Dragstart as well. I'll do that. So yeah, this is Endless Zero Soul. Goodbye.